What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Malazan server, and we have made quite a bit of progress here on the island over, well, the past couple of days. I've not actually done any recording. I did go ahead and I dug out the rest of the slime chunk all the way up the surface, done a layer of glass, so then we can get spawns on the top level, counted as surface spawns. I don't think the glass blocks surface spawns, but yeah, all that I know is that the rates have increased from pretty much none to just barely, pretty much. We've got maybe 2 stacks of slime balls down there at the moment from that farm, but I've not done a lot of AFKing over in this area. I was actually out adventuring and searching for an ocean monument, because at the moment the highest, well, one of the highest valued items for trading for the M coin is currently sea lanterns. So I thought today that we could actually make a start or try to actually knock out an ocean monument and build a guardian farm in the hopes to be able to start farming some of the lanterns and sell them for M coin in order to get a shop up and running, to be able to sell stuff, to earn some diamonds, to make my life easier. Although that we don't necessarily need a lot of diamonds, but having diamonds ready for when other shops open, so that way I don't have to run around gathering resources, would be an absolute godsend. So I have actually managed to find I managed to find 3 ocean monuments, and in the process of doing that, I managed to also find another 3 or 4 Hearts of the Sea. I made one into a conduit ready to actually take on the ocean monument, because that is going to make our life so much easier. But I've got a cow in the boat here because, well, so that we can mine the blocks in case we get hit with mining fatigue. We've then got a cow ready to go just to milk, and then we get rid of the mining fatigue in order to mine some more blocks. Just so I can set up so I can set up the conduit in order to get all the underwater breathing, night vision, so I can do the monument and take out the Elder Guardians easier. But, oh yes, before we actually leave our island, there's a lot more progress that I've got to show you, is the outer wall. Now, this side over here is the beach that we're going to be keeping as a beach. Then I've actually done the majority of the outer wall. So that wraps around all this side. I've left that little island out there. I got rid of this big chunk of land here. I'm going to be dropping that by another few levels and probably harvesting some of the coral reef to throw on there, just to make it look nice. And then the actual wall wraps around here. So like I said, I was going to be doing hard edges around here because I want it to look sort of not so industrialized, but sort of just reinforced. And this way it stops the stupid drowned from coming up in the water, because they are constantly spawning down in that little cavern area down there. So this then wraps all the way round, and it actually looks really nice. I'm quite happy with the way this turned out. And I didn't do it the cheap way. I've actually made all of the columns go all the way down to the actual floor. But as you can see, I've got drowned already following me from that area. And then I'm quite happy with the choice of the acacia wood, because it does match the lanterns pretty well. He's accidentally crafted 4 cauldrons. I think I'm alright for cauldrons at the moment. Let's see. No. Thank you. Yeah, so I've done that, and I've wrapped it all the way around to this point here, and then I've chosen to leave this little cove area open, and that is because this is where I want our docks to be. So where I've actually reinforced the wall, I actually had to bring up quite a lot of this level up to ground level, so then it matched the actual height. So the majority of my time actually got spent filling in the gaps than it did actually building the wall. But I'm quite happy with the way that it's turned out. I think it was meant to make hoppers by the looks of it. It's the only reason why I could see him crafting iron into anything in the crafting grid. Either that or trapdoors. Could be one or the other. But yeah, so I'm quite happy with the acacia. It matches the lanterns really well. There is a lot more detail that I need to do, so I need to go around and put in the cracked stone bricks, and probably swap out some of the lower level ones for mossy stone bricks, just because they're in the water. That's what's happened, so they're going to sort of get damp, mossy, cracked and whatnot down below. But yeah, very happy with the way that's turned out, and I've forgotten where I've just left my cow in the boat. Anyone remember? Okay, he's over here. I'm going to head over to that ocean monument, and I'll meet you over there. Alright then, guys, so we're now over here. This looks absolutely ridiculous, by the way. Rowing in a boat with a cow on. Just looks absolutely stupid. But yeah, we're over here at the ocean monument now. I've picked this one because we've got icebergs just over there, and we're going to need packed ice for transporting items, which is very handy. And then we've got like a little desert type biome right here, and I think that may have been my boat that I left here before. But yeah, so we've got a desert over here that we get the sand to smelt up into glass to actually do the flooring and whatnot. So we can probably use just the resources near us to actually make the farm, barring finding iron to make hoppers, to do a collection and sorting system. Yeah, just apart from them bits and pieces. But before it gets to nightfall, what I actually want to do is make like a FOB, just a forward operating base. So we've got somewhere to respawn should the worst happen. And we're just going to do a very basic brick building over here, just so we can lay our bed down and make sure that no creepers can come in and explode us as soon as we go in there. So let's just do one of these, like so, or like so. I forgot to bring a door with me, by the way, but it doesn't matter, as long as we've got somewhere safe and secure. And I've not slept in a bed for God knows how long now, so every single night I've had at least 1 or 2 phantoms on my case. But a good thing about that is that we're getting the phantom membranes in order to make the potions of slow falling, which will come dead in handy when doing the, whatchamacallit, the end cities. I just wanted to set my respawn point. It's just us 3 on, so I don't think I really need to worry too much about sleeping. And then what we want to do is get some milk on the go. Actually, can we sleep just to make the night go quicker? There we go, and now it's daytime, we've got rid of the rain. Much more better for recording. So yeah, luckily enough, one of them left so I could actually sleep, just to make the recording a little bit easier. Now we've got a guardian just swimming at the top there. Now what we want to do is hopefully set up our conduit just sort of smack bang on top. As long as we set up a... Go away, guy. As long as we set up like a full conduit, I think we should be good. So let's just... And instantly, yep, get lost, will you? Okay, let me drink that. So then we can break some of these blocks. Just so we got something to build our conduit out of. And again... Oh, this is going to get tiresome, but hopefully with the milk, and we've got a cow literally just on the shoreline there, it shouldn't be too much of a bother. Oh really? How quickly? Is that all 3 of them just doing it in sync? Okay, let's get these guys. I should just bring the cow over here really, but then I'm afraid if I do that, the guardians that are swimming about will actually just take him out, which would not be good times. So, let's get one of these guys, do that. Then let's get our conduit, like so. And, okay. Yep, I don't know why I'm doing that. I've got milk. Drink you. Break you. And then we can go like so. Oh no, please, 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 let me break it. Thank you. We want it to be one way, all the way around. So from here, like. Okay, so it's already activated because it's got a lot of prismarine below. Yep. But we want it to be a full tier 1. So we want it to go like that. And then we're going to need some more prismarine. So let's drink some more milk. This is probably like the easiest way of doing this, by the way. And I'm planning on tearing down the entire ocean monument? Yeah. I'm planning on tearing down the entire ocean monument. So it doesn't really matter how much damage I do to it, as long as I keep the sort of outer rim of it. Just so that I can do the measurements for the actual farm properly. That. Do that. And then we need one more ring going around for the full tier. Which means we're going to need some more milk. Where's our cow? There it is. Come on, dolphins, give me a boost. Give me a boost. There we go. Super swim. Okay. So let's get our buckets. Do that. Head on back. And I think we're nearly at the full tier 1 now. We do that. Break some of these. And now we've got the sort of conduit haste effect as well, so that should do it. Do one there. So one there. Okay, we needed to get like the little eye. There we go. Now it's a full tier and it should stretch. I think it's like 96 blocks about. And then we just come in here, wreck this guy's face. Get our sponge, so that's one of them down. And then I think the easiest way of getting rid of these guys is just to swim on the outside and try to spot where their tails are. So we've got one just over here. Let's drink some more of you. Hello, number 2. Get rid of you. Oh, he is hurting me a lot. Okay, that's number 2 down, and then there's just one more that we need to get rid of. Let's look for the tail. And here's number 3. Okay, so that's all 3 of them down. I'm just going to go around and see if I can't find a sponge room now. But in order to do that, I'm actually going to drink the milk and get rid of this mining fatigue. Just so it's a lot easier for me to do so. Alright then guys, so finally managed to find a sponge room. It took around about 20 minutes or so looking around and tearing apart. And then I completely missed the upper section, so I've torn holes all the way through the ocean monument and finally managed to find the sponge room. So I just want to collect these up. I've already collected the gold blocks in the centre up, so we've got the 8 of them. And I've got a bunch of prismarine stone bricks, and let's just see how many sponges we actually get from this. Considering that the sponges are a finite thing on the actual realms, because there's only so many ocean monuments and only so many of them are actually going to have sponge rooms, so I'm sure that these will be a sought after commodity later game when people want to clear out water. There we go with the T's again. How many did we get from that? So we got the 3 from the Elder Guardian, so there's what, 25 in there, which isn't too bad. I'm just going to have another little look around to make sure that we're not super lucky in having a second sponge room, which is like really rare, but it can actually happen. So let's just have a quick look through the top section. None over here, none over here. I think this just leads to the edge. So yeah, I think that's the entire top section sort of checked out now. So yeah, it looks like what I'm gonna have to do now is actually build the border on the outer rim. So what we are going to do, let me just show you now. There's still a bunch of guardians, loads of guardians everywhere around here. Just try not to get shot. And over here. So we want to go to the very edge corner on each side and just build up a pillar, just so that we get the outer rim sort of mapped out, so we know exactly where it is. So that's number 1. Head on over here. And this one's sort of built into the side of this sort of mountain thing. So it should be this corner just over here. And we just go straight up. So I'm going to do that for each 4, and then it should be, I do believe, 58 blocks in between each pillar. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to build these up, measure it out and count them out just to like double make sure or triple check. Just to ensure that all the measurements are right, because I'm not sure if that's actually built into the corner. Oh. Not too sure if that's built into the corner completely, as in I'm not sure if it's obscuring or covering some of the monument. Just build this pillar in front of me. There's a bunch of guardians over there which I'm gonna have to get rid of soon, but I've actually got a decent trident on me. I went and enchanted an absolute bunch of them, so now we've actually got one with Impaling 5, Loyalty 3, Unbreaking 3 and Mending, which is extremely handy for taking out the water based mobs like guardians. So let's just see how many hits it will take. That's 1. And ouch. Only a couple hits and it'll take them out. And it takes like 4 swings of my sword to take them out, so Impaling's definitely a good one to have on it. So yeah, after I've measured this out, I guess I'll bring you back. Alright then guys, I've just come back from my main base island and I grabbed a load more resources that I'd completely forgotten about that we're going to need for this farm. Now I had done the outline, which is exactly 58 blocks in between each one of the pillars. Now what we want to do now is actually start setting up the actual spawning locations. So to find them, what we are going to want to do, we actually want food on our hotbar because we are very hungry. Now we want to start at the northwest corner, so let's get our map out. Now we know the northwest corner is, so that's north and northwest would be over here. And that's why we just use the locator map, because it's a lot easier than trying to use a compass. Compass will only point you back towards spawn. It won't actually give you the north heading. So if you're north of spawn, it will be actually pointing at south, which is a little bit weird for a compass, but yeah. So we want to start off from 2 in on the diagonal. So we want to go 1 and then 2. Then our first spawning spot is just here, which is excellent. Oh, get rid of you, get rid of you. And then from here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do this in a very quick first person time lapse because I'm not going to count it all out with you. I will put a link on for Silent Whisper's tutorial on this, and he'll explain it. He'll give you the exact measurements of every single spawning spot. So if you wish to create this farm in your world, that you can. So here we go. Alright then guys, so by the looks of it, we've got all of our 25 spawning spots all mapped out now, and it looks to be right. As long as you start correctly off in the furthest top left hand corner, which is where we're looking over there now, which is our northwest, and then we sort of just measure them out by that. Like I said, I would put a link in the description down below for Silent Whisper's tutorial on it. He explains it a lot more thoroughly, and he actually has a little map thing laid out of showing you the exact dimensions in between each block, which is very helpful. When I initially done this, I ended up having to copy my single player world into a creative and then use command blocks in order to find the exact spawning locations, and I didn't realise that every single one was the exact same, orientated around the northwest position. Okay. So we've got all of them spots sort of mapped out and ready to go. Now what we actually have to do is drain out the top 3 layers of water. So I actually want to make this look cosmetically decent. So I actually want to build the sort of tray that it's going to be sitting on completely out of glass, which means gathering a bunch of sand from our desert just there. And then while I'm smelting all that, I'm probably going to go collect some packed ice while I'm waiting. So I guess it's going to be a little bit before I bring you back, but I'll bring you back once I've drained it all out. And I've got the glass tray sitting in, so yeah, I guess I'll see you back in a couple of hours. Alright then guys, so it was, I think it was about 2:30 in the afternoon from that last clip. It is now, let me just double check. It's now 10 to 12 at night, so it took a little bit longer than I thought it was. I said a couple of hours, but it's like 7 or 8 hours. But I did go for science free and whatnot in between. I was the main thing that took time is waiting for the glass to smelt. It took so long without a super smelter on the go, which is something we're definitely gonna have to do. But while I was waiting it to smelt, I cleared out the entire ocean monument barring the base. And we've got guardians swimming about. Now they can still spawn down here. What I think it's Foxy No Tail. He does an explanation that they're spawning, and also in Silent Whispers explanation that they specify that they can only spawn in them 25 spots, nowhere below 3 blocks from the top, I believe it is. But the fact is that they can spawn anywhere down to bedrock on these 25 spots. But what happens is that the priority of these top ones are a lot higher than anywhere else below. So what will happen is that they'll constantly try to respawn them in these 25 spots. It's not actually that block there, but it's actually that block there, the third one down from sea level, which is their main spawning. And then if they can't spawn on there, because I've got this layer completely blocked by glass, and glass cannot allow any spawns whatsoever, so their failed spawns, they can then still spawn anywhere down below. So if I do kill them all off, they will still spawn down here because they can spawn down here, and there's nowhere up there for them to spawn. Which is a bit of a nuisance, because I did go around killing them because they was giving me aggro when I was taking down the ocean monument, and then they just kept on respawning, which was no fun. But I finally got it done. Now, this is where my sort of farm's going to differ from Silent Whispers. Completely spaced on it there. Is that I just pretty much want them for their drops at the moment. I will probably change it over to an XP farm at a later time, but at this point I just want... Is it still smelting glass? There it is. So I need it to do the waterways and whatnot. So I need to figure out what it is I actually want to... Oh my god, I've not got my helmet or boots on. I did go back to my XP farm because I had to repair all of my tools. Nearly all of them were busted. So I had to go and do that. Let's see, we want that. We've got a water bucket on us. Let's grab some glass, and we want some stone slabs. And I've preferred these smooth stone slabs over the normal stone slabs. And it's just a nuisance now, because although that I prefer them, it's a case where you now have to smelt normal stone to be able to get them. It's a little bit of a pain. But what we want to do is we want to be able to create a 3 wide area around each one of these pods, which is where they're going to be spawning. I'm going to be putting in the block that they can spawn on in a moment. But really, we want to just sort of map this out. So, I want 3 there, 3 here, 3 there. And then I do believe we're going to have to at least have it too high, otherwise they will probably jump out. But I've actually gone one over there. What's that all about? So, break you, new. Can't go wasting glass now that I know how long it takes to smelt it all. And then we can have water at the back there, pushing them forward, and the block wall that they're spawning on is going to be just here. So we want these guys just to come up to this point here, and then say touch these guys. We probably want 2 wide actually, don't we? Can I get this glass? I don't want to lose it. And then hop back up. And then what we want to do is just get some magma blocks. Now what I can do when I want to swap it over to an XP farm, I can just build a portal here. Now the benefit of Silent Whispers one at the moment is that you've got an optional to turn it into a farm just to collect the drops, or you can switch it over to an XP farm, which is extremely handy. But I haven't got the obsidian ready, and I haven't got the preparation in the nether done. Like, I don't even know what's in that area of the nether that would land on this farm. So I don't really want to go to all the hassle of doing that. And then what we are going to have... if I can do this correctly. So, say we want our glass here. Then we probably want a layer of ice there. And then we want the slabs here. So the slabs will stop the water. And then they can die on the magma blocks. And then the drops will then get pushed across the ice, which will be on that line there. And then we'll probably have this line here sort of dug out. And then we'll have another layer of glass going underneath. So we can probably do, say, a line of glass going this way, just to block off that water. Can I get that? Thank you. And get rid of you. And then... yeah. So we can then have like a water stream. Obviously we can block that off, so if that water isn't coming in, then we can send items in whatever direction we want, because the items will then drop straight into the stream. As long as this is glass, the water will then push it over into this. We can have water streams running along each line there. And then, do you reckon, what's the distance between these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We could probably do a double water stream and have both of these ones facing into the same line, so that you don't have to mess around with one with every single thing. And then we could probably do the same for the two back ones, and then have this middle one do its own line. So we'll have the same sort of pod from this one facing inwards this way. And then hopefully that should be alright. And then we can just funnel all the items into waterways the way that we want. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to crack on and get all of these pods done, get the spawning blocks put in, probably have a swim around and try fight some guardians to get rid of them below so then they can start spawning in the farm. But yeah, I'm going to crack on and get this done, and I'll bring you back after I made a bit of progress. Alright then guys, so it's actually the following morning for me now, and I've had a little bit of time to chill down after the shabuckle I've made of everything yesterday. So I ended up making quite a few mistakes trying to get it finished last night. So when I woke up early this morning, I've done a sort of major overhaul on the pods themselves. They're not too different from when I last showed them to you, as in the design that I was going to go for. But there was a couple of mistakes I made, like I did have a line of 3 ice blocks with 2 lines of magma blocks. And the ice blocks weren't allowing the items to go all the way over with the half slabs above them. So what I've done is I got rid of the ice blocks, just done 2 layers of the magma blocks and moved the half slabs to the middle. And that way the water stream actually runs all the way to the main water stream in the middle, as you can see items flying down. And then they are actually going through on the ice blocks in between the half slabs that are cutting off the waterways going to the very end. And yeah, they're the changes that I sort of made. I put in the spawning block, so we are now getting guardians spawning everywhere. Obviously they're not going to be spawning right next to me, but we've got a couple over here. So once they die off on the magma blocks, their items will then get pushed into this water stream. Let's just get a demonstration. Come on, one of you guys die. And there we go. So our beautiful crystals that we need to make our sea lanterns in order to trade for the M coin, which I'm very happy for. And now that it's actually running, I did have to go around for around about 20 minutes, half an hour, hunting down all of the guardians underneath the farm. And yeah, they were hiding in caves and everything. Once I got rid of them, and once they were able to spawn up here, then no more of them were bothering to spawn down below, which is exactly like I thought it was going to be. Like, I did kill them off a few times while trying to work underneath, placing the glass and the waterways, but unless they had somewhere up here to spawn, they were still going to spawn down there regardless. But I'm quite happy to have got it done. I know this video is now going to be getting on in time a bit. I created a little AFK platform up there for me to hopefully get some resources, well not resources, but hopefully get some drops and just let them build up. I've got some very crude storage set up underneath. I still need to sort out an item sorter, but I need a lot more iron and a lot more hoppers in order to do it. So I've just set up this sort of like, oh, okay, these guys are going to be on the case now. Come on. Get rid of you. And get rid of you. I'm not bothering to try to, oh my god, there's loads of them. Not bothering to try it and get the Nautilus shells off of these guys when I kill them down here. If they drop tridents, then I'll pick it up. But I've got loads of Nautilus shells from fishing back at our slime farm. I've managed to get over 2 stacks of slime balls now as well, so happy days there. That should cover us for sticky pistons for a bit, but I'm hoping to be able to start getting more drops after I light up some of the caves down there and increase the spawn rates. We are actually going to have to try and build a platform or something underneath this guy, just so that we can stand. Now, I've only been out around here for the better part of around about 20 minutes, maybe half an hour after putting all them spawning spots in. And yeah, so we need, I think it's 5 stacks of crystals to make 1 stack of the sea lanterns. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and a bit so far of them. We are getting salmon and that getting stuck in the waterways and also dying on the magma blocks. So we are going to be getting some salmon and some bones, which bones are always useful actually, especially in early game. for growing trees and whatnot. But yeah, this should hopefully keep us sort of settled. I can probably come over here, AFK for a couple of hours in the morning while doing bits and pieces, let the drops build up, and then that can probably be our donations for the day, because we can only, I think it's like 400 M coin at the moment per stack of sea lanterns. I'm fairly sure that is likely to change once the so-called government realise that I've got a Guardian farm up and running, which means I'll only need to donate, was it 4, 8, 12, 16, so maximum of 4 stacks of sea lanterns per day that I'd be able to donate before I reach my max anyway. So hopefully they will not lower the value of it anytime soon, because at the moment I do believe I'm the only one on the server with a Guardian farm up and running, which means it's the only source of sea lanterns that's going to be about for the time being. And it is quite a lot of work and effort to put into a farm, so I don't think anyone's going to be rushing to do one themselves. Yeah, so I'm quite happy with the way that it's come out. Now, future changes that will probably come in regarding changing it over to an XP farm, what I can easily do is very handy tool from Silent Whispers design, where he's got the switch for allowing guardians onto the killing blocks for allowing them into a portal. So I can probably have 3 pistons here just above these magma blocks, and 3 pistons here where these glass blocks are, and just put a nether portal on the side of each pod. And that way I can just switch between them being funneled into the nether or being funneled onto the magma blocks. Now, the reason that I've chosen to do the magma blocks instead of the lava is a much quicker method of killing them off and getting the drops. But trying to deal with lava underneath the water, it's just more aggro than it's worth for me, and I never have good luck when dealing with lava and water. It will constantly turn into obsidian whenever I try to use it. Like, trying to do the waterways just over here underneath the water was an absolute nightmare. I had to sort of block them off completely, then use sponges to clear out the water from the outside, and then take out just the bottom sort of half slab area to allow me to still be able to get in and put the water streams in. So yeah, it was all fun and games doing that. But I'm going to do a little bit of AFKing while I do a couple of other bits now. And yeah, I think I'll probably call it there for an episode. Hopefully we won't fall off. Yeah, we are going to fall off. There we go. Well, hopefully you've enjoyed today's episode anyway. And I hopefully see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.